Hey guys, well I didn't get Goldmund, but I got a Norwegian player my way, 22-29. And looks like we're playing a English. Let's go well, I'm just debating how I want to play this. Let's play a Dubrovnik English. Let's do that. I haven't played this system too often lately. So let's just see how this turns out. Plays an early knight in. Makes sense. I think I should go h3. Just to stop any unpleasantness on the g4 square. I would bet he plays bishop. Well, if he plays bishop e6, I might be able to take on f5, and his pawn on b7 is somewhat loose. Maybe that's what he's debating right now. He could play pawn c6. He takes, okay. So is that playing off the fact that he can bring his knight into f3? Is that what he's thinking? Maybe that's it. Okay, well, we shall see. He could play c5 and make this like a very well supported knight. I don't want to give my light square bishop, so I'll probably just go here. I think I can always get rid of this knight if I need to, by playing like knight g1 if worse comes to worse. But I don't think it'll come to that. Knight d5 seems sensible. Yeah, let's go knight d5. He needs another way to attack h4, or h3 rather. But none is apparent, at least to me. Maybe now with knight d5 played, I can go b4, b5, is one idea. Try to force his hand with his knights. Okay, now queen d7 I have to watch out for. So I might want to play knight g1. The move I said I didn't want to have to play. But it looks like it might be a necessity. So let's do it. And he's got to trade with me or retreat. I bet he trades. He might go back to d4. But if he goes back to d4, I have good options, like f4. Or the b4, b5 idea I was talking about. I probably wouldn't do the b4 move against knight fd4 because he could take on d5 and potentially grab this pawn. So I'd likely prepare that. He just takes on g1, okay. Is he going to come into d4? That's the question. He's going to win a tempo on my h-pawn. Maybe now come into d4? Knight d4 seems so logical. If knight d4, he will be threatening pawn to c6. And then if my knight retreats to c3, the pawn on c4 would be hanging. So I think he should give that a lot of thought. I think if knight d4, I'm going to quickly play b3. Although I kind of want to... No, I'm just going to play b3. I'm not going to think about it too much. Because I know that move is useful to protect the c4 pawn. No, he plays c6. Now, do I bring the knight to b4? If I go to b4, it might help me trade it by going to like c2 later. c3 seems normal, but what is it really doing? Well, c3 I can go to e2 maybe. So there's nothing wrong with that square. I'll have to figure out how bad I want to play f4, and if f4 plays into my position at all. I mean, it seems like a normal move that I should play. But I'm wondering if it creates more weaknesses than anything else. If I don't play f4, though, he's going to double and knight f3 will be in the air. I'm going to play rook c1 first, just to defend this knight. And I expect him to double, yep. Now let's play f4. I think I got to do that. I mean, otherwise knight f3 check was really unpleasant. I'd have to give up my light square bishop. And I wasn't going to play pawn f3. Okay, now f5, is that anything? f5 take, queen takes h5. Probably not much. Okay, now I kind of want to take on d4. When he takes back, I play knight e2. He goes c5. And then maybe knight g1, I'm thinking. And start maneuvering for the g5 square. Is that crazy? Huh. I also see some other cool ideas with taking knight e2 and then maybe f5 coming. Some neat plans. Let's just take and see what happens. I have some loose ideas, and they look like they could be problematic for black. So that's what we're going to operate under. So f5. f5 take knight f4. Is that anything? Looks pretty cool. If anything, I think that's like a real good practical try. So I'm going to do it. He's got to take it with his pawn. Yeah. And now knight f4. h4 is probably a good move for him in this position, though. But then, I could take on e6. I could also simply play king h1. I think I like king h1. Yeah, let's go king h1. And I expect he'll take on g3. And then maybe queen h5. Really start turning the screws. Queen h5, he can play rook. Rook f6. Let's do it, though. There's not a whole lot of time left. Rook f6 is probably almost forced for him. Nah, maybe not. Maybe bishop e5 is okay. I'm really gambling in my opponent's time pressure. Or the sharpness of this position. We're not that different on time, I guess. This looks great for me now, though. I'm threatening mate. I'm threatening cool stuff. Like, what are you going to do about queen g6 check? Does that not win me a piece? Maybe it doesn't. If he can just play king h8, that would be really annoying. He might be able to. I think he can. Okay, I'm going to repeat the position once. Just real quick and see if there's anything. Oh, I really want to win this game.
Draw.
I see some cool ideas. He offered me a draw. There's some really sweet looking ideas, though. You know what? I think I'm going to gamble. Pray for me.
Check.
Pray for me, guys. I just see a cool idea, and I can't resist going for it. Yeah.
Check.
Because I figure, like, I might always have a draw, you know?
Check.
A draw is something, like, you always kind of have.
Check.
In this position. But how often am I going to get here and maybe be able to play for a win?
Time war. Check.
That's cool. Like, now I think I'm mating him. Right?
Check.
No, I'm not. I am not mating him. Where is my mate? Let's go there. Oh, he has rook f1.
Check.
I was not mating him. but I flagged him. I mean, the position was really dangerous for him in my defense. So, I don't know. Oh, he said thanks. He said hard. Thanks. Hey guys, I'm just going to post this game too. I actually played this game and now I'm doing the analysis separately because the recording cut out. But it was really interesting, and I just wanted to show you guys some of the tactical complications at the end. So I'm going to fast forward. And the party really got started right around here when I decided to play this undecidedly risky move. Or did I say undecidedly? Undoubtedly risky move. F5 coming up. So take, knight e2 here, and then f5. So you'll see the computer hates this move. And in general, it doesn't like my position right now at all. But it felt so natural to play this because I make way for my knight to come to f4, and I really wanted to get at these pawns, especially h5 in the case that he's capturing with his pawn, which he pretty much has to do. So if we look at black's position, it's pretty nice. He's got a protected pass pawn in the center. He's got 2 rooks stacked on the f-file. Nicely doubled there. 2 bishops. Nothing looks really out of place for him. So it is hard to believe that f5 could work. But given the time situation, it felt like the right thing to do. So that's why I went for it. So take, and then the knight came in. And he played very well in defense. He played h4, intending to expose my king. The point of this move is that if I take, I thought he could play bishop e5 and winning. Computer also thinks f takes e4 is good. But he's trying to fight back on the dark squares and using his dark square bishop in the process. So I went here, and then he took on g3. Now, I could try to take his knight and then grab the pawn on f5 to open this bishop. But the issue is, after rook takes, bishop d5 is not even possible because he takes here. And this is something I didn't see in the game, but I just kind of instinctively felt like it was bad for me. The point is he can take this, and it's mate next move.
Checkmate.
So parting with my light square bishop could be a quick path to defeat here. So I'm glad I didn't do that. I played the more dynamic move, queen h5. When you're attacking, especially when you've sacrificed material, the correct course is often to continue playing actively and not trying to cash in at the first possible moment. You know, if I was just strictly interested in playing on material, I might go for a line like knight takes e6 and e takes f5, bishop d5, but I would lose because I would lose the initiative. So queen h5 is trying to get another piece involved. He took. I did think rook f6 was a good defensive try if he had gone for that move to try to get the rook over to h6. Instead, he took here. Now I have a mate threat on h7. But again, he played a good defensive move, bishop e5. Looks like bishop f5 would be even stronger, but bishop f5 or rook f5. Probably rook f5. An exchange sack. But again, my light square bishop is such a good piece that the computer is indicating that it's worth it for him to sacrifice the exchange to safeguard his king. So bishop e5 is sensible, though.
Check.
Now I checked here. And the issue for him is that he can't block with his bishop or rook. Because if he blocks with the bishop, it's mate on the spot, right? If he blocks with the rook, he loses the bishop on e6. And when I had calculated this line during the game, I just made sure that he couldn't go g2. I saw that I could play bishop takes g2 at the end. That was the only thing that could really spoil this whole combination. So he played king h8, and I really gambled here. Mostly because of the clock, but also it was such an exciting game. I didn't just want to agree a boring draw. So I took on e6, and my thinking was that he's got almost twice as less time that I do. And I think his king is exposed enough that I even have a draw, even if things go awry here.
Check.
For a second.
Check.
Like, I'm letting him win material with check. But my bishop, knight, and queen are a fairly powerful trio of attacking pieces. So he played another good defensive move, rook f6.
Check.
And it does seem like at this point I should just settle for the draw.
Check. check,
Yeah, and I should just go for perpetual. At this point, I played knight g5, and
check,
yeah, I really
check.
rolled the dice. And was rewarded with a pretty shameless flag. But we both had no time left to do really anything else, so I was just making moves. There's a cool line, though. This one's really neat, and I'm going to turn off the engine for this just to show you guys. If he had, in this line, so after queen g5 check, if he tries to run to f7, he didn't do this in the game, but there's a cool possibility. I can play queen g7 check.
check,
Now, if he takes on e6, he gets mated in 2. I play
check.
bishop d5, king here, and then queen
Checkmate.
checkmate. So after queen g7, the move king e8 would be basically forced. And now I have this nice idea,
Check.
bishop g6. And all of the pieces participate in delivering the final blow against black's position. So now he's got 3 moves. He can't move his king anywhere. So he's got to take my bishop or block on f7 with either his queen or his rook. Queen f7 is actually the best move, but you know,
Check.
this should definitely lose. No doubt about that. I guess I could even play queen f8 and then take his queen. So if he takes with the rook, I made him on f8.
Checkmate.
Don't even take the rook back. And if rook f7, it's the same checkmate.
Checkmate.
Queen f8. So for that reason, he had to pretty much repeat here.
Check.
And it really should end in a draw.
Check.
Like, the correct result of this game is a draw. It's just knight g5 was a blitz try at the end. But I just wanted to share those tactics, and hope you guys enjoyed watching this one. This was a lot of fun to play. And kudos to my opponent. He said thanks for the game afterwards. He wasn't bitter that I flagged him, unlike Goldmund, who was bitter that he beat me. But, you know, you run into all sorts of people with differing views on etiquette in Blitz. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys. And I'll be back tomorrow with some more videos. Talk to you guys later.